Only one day in Barcelona? Challenge accepted. I'm packing as much as I can of this city into 24 hours, from iconic landmarks and buildings to the beach. So let's go. All right, so we are in our first spot. This is La Sagrada Familia. This is one of the most visited church in the whole world, with over 4.83 million people only in 2024. That's crazy, so many people. Also, this is one of Spain's most visited monuments, even more than Camp Nou or Park Güell here in Barcelona. So it was built by Gaudí. He actually took over another architect and he started building it in 1883. And obviously it's still under construction. It's expected to be finished by 2026, but they don't know yet. All right, so I found this great spot to explain you a bit more about the Sagrada Familia. It was designed by Antonio Gaudí. Antonio Gaudí is an icon in modernism. Modernism was born here in Barcelona. And actually he died very tragically, I would say, hit by a tram here in the city. So he died in 1926. So we're talking about he dedicated his whole life, 40 years of his life, to this place. This place actually looks like it was built by aliens, if you ask me. I think there's so many little things that you can find. There's a lot of geometry. There's a lot of religious symbolism in this place. But I think it's quite impressive. I visited Barcelona so many times. It never stops surprising you, honestly. So since Gaudí's death, this place has been under construction for the last 140 years. This means 9 generations of architects have been helping to finish this monument. Also, it's completely funded by donations. So it's been built completely by people just donating money to it, which is quite impressive. Also, the other side, we're gonna see it in a minute, I'm gonna show you, is completely different because it's the new part of the Sagrada Familia. We're not gonna go inside this time. Hopefully, we're gonna do another video and we can show you more. Cool, let's go. All right, so I'm gonna show you a cool spot for a photo if you're coming to Sagrada Familia. I've come to Barcelona so many times. That's why I know this spot. It tends to be quite crowded and maybe you have to queue a little bit, but I think it's worth it, especially if you're coming and want a unique photo. So let's go. All right, so this is the spot that I was telling you about. So if you're lucky enough and there's not too many people, you can just sit here and have this amazing view. People are queuing, so I have to just stand up and go. But there you go, this is a good spot for a photo. Okay, so we're going around because the thing about Sagrada Familia is occupies a full square. So I'm gonna walk around and I'm gonna show you the rest of it. So we just saw the Gothic part of Sagrada Familia. We're gonna walk around and I'm gonna show you the modern part. So as you can see, this side is way more lighter than the other, because I said the other side is the Gothic side. And this one, you can see that the lines are more clean, it's lighter. Also, like the sculptures are a different type, but also they look quite depressed. I really like this side, and you can really notice the difference in between the styles of them. Now we have the bus here, and I wanted to show you Sagrada Familia. As I said, this is a very crowded place, so make sure you're coming, if you're going in, to book your tickets. But now we are gonna go to our next spot. We're gonna go to Passeig de Gràcia, and I'm gonna show you other of Gaudí's buildings. One of my first recommendations here, if you come to Barcelona, even in Spain, I would say, get some cava, because it's very cheap and really good. Doesn't matter, cava is always gonna be good. Oh, so refreshing. Okay, this is the right way to cheer here. They give it to you. Salud. That's the right way. El que no apoya, no. So our next stop on this Barcelona day, it's Passeig de Gràcia. It's this main road that you're seeing behind me. It's a main road where most of the luxury shops are. You're gonna find here Versace, you're gonna find Chanel, Dior, Rolex, all the luxury brands, you're gonna find them here. Also, this road is iconic because this is where some of the most beautiful modern buildings are. Behind me, you can see La Pedrera or Casa Milà, that is another of Gaudí's creations. And also, we're gonna show you later on when we walk, we're gonna show you Casa Batlló, that's another of Gaudí's buildings. So you can actually go inside Casa Batlló. You can see the people on the rooftop. It's a great day in Barcelona. This is probably one of my favorite times to come here, spring, early summer. All right, so this fancy stone building that you see behind me is La Pedrera or Casa Milà, another building built by Gaudí, like I said before. This was originally built as a residential building. So it was for a rich couple back in the early 1900s. And something curious about it is like the inside doesn't have any walls. It was built to be like old stone and fluid, so the inside is just columns. I think that's a quite cool thing to say. Actually, newspapers used to laugh about the shape of the building without knowing that it would be a modernism icon now these days. There's no straight lines in this building. It's all fluid and curves in the stone. And actually, when you see the chimneys up, it kind of looks like Star Wars. Some people say that George Lucas was inspired by this place. Also, there's another building built by Gaudí that we're gonna walk now. So follow me around. We're gonna keep looking this beautiful city. All right, so now down the road, you're gonna find this beautiful building behind me. It's called Casa Batlló. It's another of Gaudí's buildings. It's quite particular because it was shaped like a dragon. The top of the building is shaped like the back of a dragon. It's connecting it to the history of St. George within like Catalan history. Also, this building, it was like a quite normal building before until 1904. Gaudí took over and redesigned the full building. A curious fact is back then, during those times, there was kind of like a competition in this road into who had the most rich and the most impressive, beautiful building. So this place was named World Heritage Site by the UNESCO in 2005. And if you look really close in the facade, you're gonna see that the balconies look like skulls. So some people call it the House of Bones because it's quite particular. It's so beautiful to me, and a lot of the times the facade gets with roses in San Jordi Day, and there's so many things happening in the city that I think it makes it even more beautiful. So this place you can also go in. I do recommend going in because I think it's one of the most beautiful places you're gonna see. There's so much history in it, and I think the interior are so particular. So if there's two places you want to visit Gaudí's things, it's probably Sagrada Familia, Casa Batlló. I also recommend booking the tickets in advance, maybe 2 days, same as a Sagrada Familia. I do love this road, and one thing is it used to be a very rural road, I don't know if that's how you call it, but it used to be just like the horses around here, and at some point there was a tram that connected this area, the Plaza Catalunya, where we're gonna go now, to Vila de Gracia neighborhood as well. Okay, so one thing that I wanted to tell you about Barcelona that is very important is watch where you're walking. Because if you see behind me, this is like a cycling road, but there's also a lot of cars. So this city is very friendly for cyclists. But a lot of the time, if you're just being tourist and walking, you won't really notice, like that guy just there, you won't really notice where you're walking. So watch out so you don't get run over, something to have in mind. All right, again, Barcelona is probably one of the most touristy cities in Europe. So I would have to say that if you come here, there's quite a lot to see. What I'm showing you is one day in Barcelona. There's way more to see. And if you get a chance, just sit down in a terrace in the sun, have a drink, some tapas, and you're gonna love it. I will be making a foodie tour video in Barcelona, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, let's keep on walking. All right, so right now we are in Plaza Catalunya. This is the main square in Barcelona, in the old town, let's say. I was gonna show you the center of it, where the pigeons and the floor is really nice, and you can see all around the square, but the F1 fan village is happening right now, so they took my spot, so I can't show you. But this is the type of things that happen in Barcelona. There's always an event, there's always something going on, and I think if you're planning to come here, just check around what's going on, and maybe you'll find a surprise, something that you can do while you're here. Also, this is where the most affordable shops are. The further down you go from Passeig de Gracia to the old town, you're gonna find more affordable shops in a way. You have El Corte Inglés on the right. You also find the Desigual, Zara, and all of these shops around here. There's also a cool place, maybe if you wanna have a drink and you wanna sit on the sun. Very touristy, but I think it's worth it if you happen to be around here. All right, so if you keep walking from Plaza Catalunya, you're gonna find La Rambla. This is where we are right now. This is one of Barcelona's most touristy places ever. It's a pedestrian street. You can keep walking to the end of it and you're gonna find the sea. This is basically the street that connects all the neighborhoods with the sea. Out to the sides, you're gonna find shops, you're gonna find restaurants, bar, you're gonna find all the touristy stuff. I do have to say, even though it is a good place to see, you have to be very careful when you're here. And also, if you're wanting to find somewhere to eat and maybe have a drink, maybe go to the sides on the neighborhoods instead of doing La Rambla, because, well, it's not the best of the places to have a meal or a drink, I would say personally. That's my personal recommendation. But it's a good place to visit if it's your first day or your first time in Barcelona. So this is basically the street that connects the old town, the two old neighborhoods in Barcelona. On this side we have Raval, and on this side we have the Gothic Quarter. So basically this is like the core of the old town divided by this street. A great find in this street is the La Boqueria market that is a few blocks away going down. We're not gonna go there this time. In another video, I'm gonna show you some of it. But if you wanna visit, this is one of the spots that I do recommend. So if you keep going down La Rambla, you're gonna see the Plaza Real that I showed you before, and now you're gonna find this plaza. This is Plaza San Jaume. This is where the political decisions happens here in Barcelona. In the back, you have Palau de la Generalitat, which is the seat of the Catalan government. And then here on the right, you have the Ajuntament de Barcelona. It's the city hall. So if there's a protest happening in Barcelona, there's a big chance that it happens in this plaza. All right, so now what's behind me is Barcelona's cathedral. This is the original one, way before Gaudí came into the pictures. This is the original Gothic one. So this was started to be built in the 13th century, but it wasn't finished until the 15th century. So that's over 150 years. The facade that you see on the front, it wasn't built until the 1800s. So this is actually neo-Gothic. You can also go to the top, and it's a great viewpoint for photos, and it's great to see the whole Gothic quarter from above. There are certain days where it's free, so you can check that out online before you come. Maybe you will catch it. And yeah, I actually have never been inside, but maybe next time. Un golpe de pasión. One thing to know about Barcelona is that you have to be careful with your belongings because there's a lot of pickpocketing in the city. So have your stuff with yourself, be careful, don't be a victim of pickpocketing. That's very important. So now our last stop in Barcelona is Barceloneta Beach. This is the main beach in the city. This is where you can come, you can relax, you can just, if you want to go for a swim, you can buy something in a supermarket and sit down, have some beers, some sodas, some pica pica, anything that you want, or you can just choose to sit in one of these bars. They call it chiringuito, just next to the beach, have a drink, relax, have some tapas. In my opinion, this is probably one of the best ways to finish a day in Barcelona. Just relaxing in the beach. If it's a sunny, hot day like today, you can just go for a swim. Make sure you're not alone though. Don't leave your stuff in the sand and go in the ocean because you're gonna get robbed. But just make sure you're with someone, and if not, just have a drink next to it. So Barcelona is a city that is always changing, and one of the biggest changes it was for the '92 Summer Olympics. They changed the city completely, especially the coastal area. So all the beaches that the city has were artificially made in a way. It was a coast, but it wasn't a proper beach. So the sand that you see in all these beaches actually was brought from Delta del Ebro. You remember one of my videos, Delta del Ebro? Well, that's where this sand came from. I have to say Barcelona is probably one of my favorite cities in Europe. I've come here so many times, and one of the reasons is probably because of the beach. I come from the coast, and I'm used to having a beach close to me. Water is so important to me, and I think this is a gem. Being so close to the water, being so close to the beach, and on the other side you have the mountains. Maybe in another video, let me know if you want to see that. I can show you the mountains in Catalonia. There's so much to see. There's so many day trips that you can take from Barcelona if you have more time. But if you get the chance, don't miss the beach. So we had one day in Barcelona, and I think we crushed it. From Gaudí to the Gothic quarter and then to the beach. This city definitely has a lot to offer, so I recommend coming here. And if you're hungry for more, I'm gonna be dropping a Barcelona food tour video pretty soon, so stay tuned. If you like this video, don't forget to like it, comment, and subscribe. Also, check my links. and I'll see you next time.